Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Marketplace. I'm your host, Eddie from Brickrod Garage. This week, I've got some fun ones for you, starting out with this. A 2003 Chevy Avalanche. Now, this truck is pretty awesome, but let's get in the description real quick to talk about it. This Avalanche is pretty epic. It's got 26 by 12s in the rear and 26 by 9s in the front. It's got a triangulated 4-link suspension with fresh Victory Red paint, AccuAir air system, an SS front clip with an '07 hood. Oh, and did I mention it was on the cover of Street Truck magazine? This is for sale by my buddy Mighty in Florida. On Instagram, I am constant, and on TikTok, I'm trying to tell you guys to follow him. This is why. He finds a lot of these old magazine trucks and is constantly flipping them. And this one got the cover where it was on Street Truck magazine, where it was blue with these pretty cool looking flames. And I know what some of you might be thinking, because I didn't find a picture of what it looked like when he first got it, but if you scroll through his Instagram or TikTok feed, I think you can find it. The doors were messed up and he had to get new doors for it, so that's why he decided to go ahead and paint it. And since he was painting it, he decided to go with his Victory Red. And you all know how much I love red. I think it looks so good. I believe this was built by Extensive Metalworks. I'm not 100% positive, I'm about 70% positive it was. But it's pretty awesome. And if you guys ever watched his show, Texas Metal, you'll see that sometimes when he builds these trucks for customers, he'll either just start with the interior or start with the exterior. And it looks like this is one of those ones that he started with the exterior and then painted the dash, because the dash is still blue. And then there might have supposed to come back later. This truck is so fresh, and for only $30,000, where else are you going to find an '03 Avalanche that has so much custom work and is ready to rip? Up next, we have this 1964 Chevy Ramside. Now, this is based on a Corvair chassis, so this thing is pretty awesome. Think Matt's off-road recovery, the Morvair, before it became the Morvair when it was just a Corvair wagon. Well, did you know they built these Ramside trucks out of them? I've actually got to see one of these fully restored at the North Carolina Transportation Museum in Spencer, and when I saw it there, I'm like, this thing is beautiful. Why did I not ever see these? And why did they not make more of them? I don't know, but this thing is pretty awesome. It's got a 4-speed with a flat 6, and it's basically a Corvair-based ute or delivery truck. Now, the cool part about this truck is it has a regular tailgate in the back here, but the main awesome part about these Corvair ramp sides are the actual side is a ramp. It folds down. So think about doing deliveries, or if you needed a shop truck back in the day, or if we're doing small local deliveries, this thing would drop down. You could take your dolly right up in there, take out your deliveries and put it in there. How cool would this be to restore this if you had an engine shop to deliver engines to your customers? Maybe put like some sort of little crane that reaches out to drops down for them. I don't know, you're going to go fancy like the ones that Harbor Freight sells, but maybe a little hydraulics. But even not even doing that, I would do some sort of swap to the engine. I know the Subaru engines are a pretty popular build swaps to do in these mid-engine vehicles, like Tyler Hoover from Hoovy's Garage. He had that kit car. I've seen a Volkswagen bus that have one done. So I would take out that tired engine and put in something a little more reliable and a little bit more fun. This thing for only $5,000, I think would be an absolute blast. And it's not something you see every day, because I've only seen one. I'm not saying I am the end-all, know-all when it comes to cars. I've seen a lot of cars, between taking pictures of cars for dealerships and just doing different shows. I don't think I've ever seen one in a show. I've seen Corvairs, but nothing like this. So for $5,000, I don't think it's bad. Oh, and look at the crazy little stack it has on there. Now, it's one of my favorite parts of the show, Creator Spotlight. And this week, we have my buddy Charles from Blue Chip Auto Works. Let's check in with Charles.
Hey everyone, this is Charles White with Blue Chip Auto Works. Welcome to the shop where all the magic happens. Got a couple of BMWs we're working on outside of the shop today. Well, we just wanted to show you around for just a second because Eddie invited us to. Thank you, Eddie. And this is our world famous espresso machine. And this is our 1983 Mustang GLS convertible that we're restoring. So I invite you to like, follow, and subscribe to be part of the adventure. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles, for all that. Guys, Charles is another great friend. Him and I have been going to Cars and Coffee this past year. Oh, at least once a month, him and I get together. Really good friend, and he is trying to grow his social media presence. And if you follow any of my reels I do from a lot of Cars and Coffee, Charles is a guy that does a lot of the cameos. He's the guy walking in the background. At first, it started out as a joke, like he was in one of the videos, and I just left it. And now, every time we go to a Cars and Coffee, I purposely try to make sure when he's walking around, I try to like zoom the camera out, like, oh, there's Charles. Who is this man? That man is Charles from Blue Chip Auto Works and a dear friend of mine. He is trying right now to grow his social media presence. And any of us that are growing a channel knows it is a long process, but Charles is a great guy. He's got a really funny sense of humor and does things a little bit different than anybody out there. And you guys can find Charles on Facebook, Instagram, and on YouTube. And you'll be seeing him a lot more in some upcoming videos. The plan is for him, Greasy Corner Garage, and Rev Garage and I, we're all going to slowly start trying to do some things together. So be tuning into all of their channels because we've got a lot of fun stuff planned this year, like the thing right here. I decided to try to do something a little different, and then I realized that I could have Heritage in the back window because I'm always talking about Heritage in all my videos. It's a nice rainy day, so why not have Heritage in the background? Up next, this one is either going to make you really happy or really angry, depending on which side of the spectrum you fall on. This is a 1988 Fiaro. Yeah, it's a Fiaro. This is a 1988 Fiaro. What do I mean by that? It is a Ferrari Testarossa kit car built on a Fiero. So a Fiaro. And this is only $23,000. So it is built on a Pontiac Fiero GT frame. It's been stretched and the kit body has been put on top of it. I don't know about you guys, but I love what was Faster with Finnegan, now Faster with Newburn and Cotton. It is a fantastic show on Motor Trend. They have a Lamborghini kit car that they put a V8 in it. And now it's lifted. You guys should go check that out. This Fiaro has a Corvette V8 in there and a Muncie 5-speed. I thought Muncies were only 4 speeds. Now this is what, I'm just reading what it says. This is not my car. Remember that, folks. So it's got a Muncie 5-speed with a Corvette engine. And it actually has real Ferrari seats in it. That's, I don't even know. Maybe they found them on eBay or something. I don't know. But this car for 23 grand, I think would be a blast. I love kit cars because if you don't know what they are, you can have a lot of fun with them and just get out there and enjoy them. People are like, you've got a Ferrari. Yep, I got a Ferrari. What a Ferrari? A Fiero. What? A Pontiac Fiero. This is one of the things that I love. You guys know how much I love descriptions? Well, this is something they put at the end of the description on Marketplace. Check this out. Warning! This car draws a lot of attention. There's many people who admire it and come up wanting photos made with it. All in all, this build is a really clean build for a kit car because we've all seen the really bad examples like, what is that? Like Vice Grip Garage bought that Lamborghini kit car that was like made out of wood or something. I think that's a bad example. This one though, for the price, I don't think it's bad. I think this would be a fun car to cruise around in, maybe even hit some road trips and just get out there and enjoy. Up next is one of my favorite types of vehicles, a 2004 Ford Vuck. No, I did not just cuss at you. A Vuck is a van truck. Yes, there are forums all over the internet of these. I love these trucks. There will be one someday in this driveway behind you. Now, this is at a dealership, so that's why this description is like auto-generated. I am an auto-generated description. It's diesel, dually. It's got this extended cab kind of thing on there. And with it being a 2004, I'm guessing it's got a 6.0 on it. Which I know, calm down. Or don't. That's up to you. I'm not telling you how to live your life. The 6.0, yes, it has its problems. And yes, if you put the right amount of money into it, they can be a pretty decent engine. From my understanding, once again, I am not a diesel expert. But my thought is, for $14,000, this thing would be a blast. It looks like whoever built this, it's very well made. I said, it's got this extended cab thing in here with, it's got some speakers in there. And it looks like it reminds me of the backseat of a Tacoma, like just the kind of seat that's in there. So I don't know dimensions wise if you could put a regular backseat in there, or you take that out and put a sleeper in there. I'm not sure. I know some people in the comments might know more, that it's not big enough, whatever, but at least put some bucket seats back there or an older bench seat or something. But all in all, I love these things. I think this thing would be a blast. It'd be a really fun tow rig, and then maybe even eventually do a four-wheel drive conversion to it. How cool would that be? And lift it. I haven't thought about these van trucks at all, these bucks. I've thought about them a lot. But this one looks fairly clean. It looks like it was pretty well maintained from the pictures. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but certainly not least, we have this. A 1992 GMC Top Kick toter home. This thing is awesome. There's actually a guy down the road from me that has a white one of them that I see every day that I go to work. I'm like, this thing is awesome. It's got a Cat 3116 diesel engine with an Eaton 9-speed, power windows, locks, cruise control, dual zone HVAC, airbags over the rear leaves. It's titled as an RV. One of the cool parts about this is the interior is an OBS. So if you like the square boxy interior like it has for the dash, you could leave it, which I like both styles. Or you could put the next model, the 95 on up interior, or 96 on up interior, where it's a little more rounded, a little more cleaner. But the inside of this, it reminds me of a conversion van, because it is. The interior of this reminds me of my parents' high-top conversion van with all the blue carpet everywhere, and it's got this fold-down bed. So this thing is a thing. If you're wanting to hit up a lot of these events, like drag and drive events, this would be awesome to pull your car hauler with, because you and some buddies could take turns driving and load up a couple cars and head down to whatever event you want, or cross country, depending on where you live. It looks like it's been pretty well maintained all in all for a 1992. I think $20,000 is a pretty fair offer. Now it's time for our upcoming events in the automotive world. Starting off with Sick Week. It starts next week. It starts January 28th and goes to February 2nd and starts at Orlando Speed World. Now remember, if you guys are subscribed to Freedom Plus, Cletus and crew are going to be having live coverage of the entire event on that app. Once again, this is not a sponsored plug for Freedom Plus, but if you guys aren't already subscribed to that, it is phenomenal. I had it all last year. I've got to renew it here in the next couple weeks. But my son and I loved it. We got to watch all of the events Cletus did. Now that he's adding things like Sick Week, this is an amazing deal for what it is. Plus, there's going to have checkpoints and things like that. And this is just one of the first events he has announced, let alone all of his events. The Christmas tree drags are fun. Anyways, we're talking about Sick Week. It starts on Monday at Orlando Speed World in Orlando. Then the next day, it goes to Bradenton, Florida, to Bradenton Motorsports Park, and then heads to Gainesville at Gainesville Raceway Speedway, and then heads to Georgia for South Georgia Motorsports Park. And then the final day, they're back at Orlando Speed World. It's going to be an amazing event. I can't wait to watch all the different coverages. It's one of the things I look forward to seeing every year. Coming up in March, we have the GM Tailgate Tour. This is an all GM power tour-like cruise. It is going to be a blast. If you are a GM truck fan, this is the event for you, where you're hanging out for 5 days with nothing but other GM truck enthusiasts. I mean, eventually, I really got to get wrenching on that so we can go on some of these events. I'm thinking about this truck being kind of like the Swiss Army knife of the fleet, where, now when I say drag truck, I'm not going crazy. I mean, I want to go on drag events with this truck and just have some fun, and then be able to go cruise it. So the GM Tailgate Tour is March 25th through the 29th. And this is going to be day 1, you're in Nashville, Tennessee. Day 2, Tupelo, Mississippi. Day 3, Birmingham, Alabama. Day 4, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Day 5, I am going to butcher this name, Sevierville, Tennessee. There's the map. It's a nice little loop. This event is going to be a lot of fun for all of the GM truck enthusiasts. I really wish I could go, but I'm booked this summer with the next event. And last but not least, Hot Rod Power Tour. They finally announced the dates last week, June 10th through the 14th, and they've got a pretty good lineup this year. As always, I cannot wait. Day one, you're at Beach Bend Raceway Park in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Day two, you're at Nashville Superspeedway in Lebanon, Tennessee. Day three, you're at L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium in Louisville, Kentucky. Day four, we're going to be at National Trail Raceway at Hebron, Ohio. And on day five, to finish off Power Tour, we're going to be at Lucas Oil Raceway Park in Indianapolis, Indiana. Guys, this is going to be an amazing trip. Book your tickets now. I told you last week, I got to go for a day, and it was amazing. Yes, it's hot, but it is awesome that you see so many cool cars. And as you guys know, we're going to be driving the Weiss minivan. But I'm okay with it because I'm going to get to hang out with my friends and hopefully meet a lot of you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for this week. If you guys know of any upcoming events in the automotive community, it doesn't matter what type of vehicle it is, drop it in the comments so we can talk about it and spread the word. If you have any marketplace finds that you find me, because some of my best marketplace finds are from you guys, and I greatly appreciate that. You guys can send them over to me on any of the socials. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, and here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, happy hunting, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Marketplace. I'm your host, Eddie from Brickrod Garage. This week, we've got some pretty exciting vehicles for you. I am the team. Should I put this in the bloopers? Yeah, I probably should put this in the bloopers. This is kind of hilarious. Hope you guys like the new setup. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to This Week in Marketplace. I'm your host, Eddie from... What do I do with my hands? Sorry, I'm a little flip-flop because schedule's flipped from work right now. And ladies and gentlemen, remember to pause so when you're editing, you're not mad. So future you is not mad at past you. Make sure you have a pause before you start talking.